What's up, everyone? Beat the Boss here, here with another episode of Captain of Industry. So, where we left off was we just finished building our trading dock here and a couple of our goals. So now what we're going to be doing, we do have a low supply of maintenance at the moment, and our production is very up and down. So we'll have a quick look at that, because if we run out of maintenance, then we will run out of, our machines will stop moving basically. So what we will do is we'll see why this isn't running. So it's got the iron that it needs. That's got the copper. So I don't see why we should be having those sorts of spikes. What we might consider doing is actually making a second one of these. Since we do have plates being made, it's not really a hassle. So we'll get a second one of those, and we've also got to watch how much scrap we have, because if we run out of iron ore before we can actually get up here and start mining the iron, I do believe our vehicles can get around that, and I will just double check here. So we can get up here, they have access up here, they can get around here and they can start mining that iron there. So what we might actually have a look is, we've actually got it going now, as well as we also need to keep an eye on our fuel, since we don't have the oil, which is all the way over here. So we are going to have to slowly work around this. It would probably be best if we were to mine along the edge here, to get here just for now, until we can get down to the level that we need to be, because it will take a bit longer to mine out all this and get it down there. So with that, this is almost done. We've got a little bit longer, so we'll keep it on 3 times speed for now and wait for that to be done, and then we will build our hub that starts building some of our vehicles. We can see that our maintenance is starting to go up now, as well as our iron plates are starting to drop, but our production is still pretty high. That would have been because, that both of these would have been full, and now all of a sudden we've built the extra assembler that has now caused that sudden drop, and that's why it's coming up red there. We don't have any source of copper at the moment, so we can't really, no point worrying about that at the moment. So with that, we will build ourselves a vehicle hub just here. We might actually build it here, and we'll get that built up, and as soon as that's built, we will get, so we can have 80 vehicles. We will get, we'll get 3 excavators and 2 more trucks, or 3 more trucks to go with it. Once that's built, we will then be able to start mining some of this coal, and we will get around to start mining some iron as well. I do believe we can set the recipe here. It will always go scrap first because it's the highest on the list, and at the moment it's waiting for coal because there is no wood at the moment. Even though I've got wood here, I do not know why it is not moving. I'm going to say probably because I've accidentally done that. So yeah, now that truck should head down here, which it is, both of them are, sweet. And they've got 20 wood each, and they'll both deposit into here. While that's researching, still going, that will give us our basic concrete, as well as now starting to get rainwater, which we'll need. So everything's being made. We still have a solid supply of construction parts, and our potatoes should be pretty good. Yeah, so we got 374 of those. Yeah, we got plenty there. Our landfill is slowly filling up, and we just had another harvest of potatoes. So just because of that, I will actually chuck one of those there, and I'll just quickly speed that up just so we're not wasting any potatoes, because when this is full, they're not moving back and forth. So what will happen is they'll sit in here, and every time it harvests, we will have an issue with overstocking this, and then we actually lose it. So we try not to do that. We can be as resourceful as possible. With all that stuff moving, we do have a excavator now. So what we'll do is we'll place our ore sorting plant just here for now. And once that gets built, that will then sort our resources. So we'll have start by setting products to sort. So we're going to get to sort coal, we're going to get it to sort iron, and we'll get it to sort rock, as well as dirt. Eventually in the future we can actually upgrade this. So now that it's done that, and that's all built, we can leave that like so. And we can also now start building our sites here. So I'll put a mining tower here, and I'll add one excavator and one truck for now. And then that's a pretty good area. So then what we'll do is I like to start flattening everything out and work from the back forwards. These will then start collecting dirt and some other parts. So what I'll get these to do is I'll actually just start dumping it on the ground here. And that way we can start creating a little bit of a ramp around here, because eventually I'll start mining all this as well. And what I'll also do is once some of these trees are actually cleared up, is I might just get rid of it from mining those. I'll get to mine those couple, as well as some of those, and these ones as well. And this will then start working towards getting our iron ore. We'll add the one excavator to there, one truck as well, and then we'll set that to start mining like that, because I believe there's no iron ore there, but we will slowly work into that. We should still have a decent amount of scrap left. We are running out. We are researching the shipyard. Once we do that, we can then start exploring the map, and exploring the map actually can give us scrap and a couple of other bits and bobs that we can use to help us out. So now this thing is starting to have a bit of coal in it. It's got a truck on its way. It's got 4 dirt and 2 coal. So now we're starting to get dirt build up as well. And because I don't actually have conveyors unlocked yet, we can't separate it the way we want. So I won't be worrying about that too much. We do have our kiln unlocked, but we don't actually have any access to limestone just yet, because the limestone is there. That's our limestone. Once we get in, start mining that. How much concrete do we have actually? We have 144. So what we might do as well is we might just start our limestone mining, just to help with building that up. And we'll set this to to flatten as well as it mines. It's not right, so it needs to be 50. So we'll go here, like so. There we go. Alright. Small excavator wants 2 excavators, two trucks on this one. So we'll set up 2 trucks here. This thing's slowly mining away. And we need to mine the iron ore. So currently we don't have any iron ore. We do have a start of a build up with coal. So we can actually just get rid of, we can just start getting rid of this because we won't actually need it. And that will give us a bit of resources back that we can spend in other places. So we can repair this, so we'll repair that now. That way we can start exploring the map. So it only needs 4 more, which it's got now. We are doing alright for power at the moment. Alright, so now we've done this, we can load our 15 crew on here. We do not have enough people now. So now what we need to do is we need to get more people on the island. And the way we can do that is by getting a beacon. We place that there. That's going to retire 10 copper as well as 30 plates. 30 construction parts, sorry. And that will bring 14 refugees every 3 months. And then we'll get this to load up with diesel, which will just pull it straight from its source here. Build a housing attached to the existing settlement, so we won't really worry about that just yet until we can get this sorted. This has got a 360 capacity in it, and we've got a little bit going on here. I'm not too worried about that. They are actually dumping trash over here, which I do not like. So what we will do is we'll place a mine control tower here, and we'll chuck one here. We'll designate this to only trash, and this one over here as not trash. And that should sort that problem, because now if we come here and have a look at the population overview, we don't have any landfill issue just yet, but we will in the future if we keep dumping trash into the city or into the water here. So we've got some new refugees. We've got 6 available workers, and we have 54 free housing at the moment, 54 spaces. So now this is running, it's just gone through. Since they're all dumping into here, this is going to be a very big issue until we can actually get a sorter for this. So we've unlocked copper refinement, conveyor belts, that is what we will need. So we'll add that onto the queue. It's got this one, and tier 2, and then we can start creating the belts. And once we've done that, we will be moving pretty quickly through this part and starting our expansion. Once we get fuel, once we get the fuel going, it will be better as well. So we can explore this island. We'll send the ship out to there, and it will go and have a look and see what's out there and see what it can bring back. We'll get it to auto repair as well when it returns, and automatically return home when it's finished or when it can't explore anywhere else. Alright, so we've got another 14 refugees coming in 5 months. our trash would start building up a bit quicker now, seeing that we've got a few more people here. This here is so far not a issue. It seems to be processing it pretty quickly. We might have to make a second one just for the limestone and all the other resources, but what I'll be planning is for when it comes to it, the iron, the coal and everything else will be separate from your dirt, your rock. Limestone can be in that bundle as well. Alright, so we are starting to chew into our scrap. There's only 59% left between these two resources. We're not too worried about concrete just yet. Our ship has explored that and it has found 93 scrap, 42 rubber, 48 copper, as well as 10 vehicle parts. So we can keep exploring out a little bit further and we'll let that do that. It's still got 1200 kilometres worth of fuel in it. It is quite expensive on fuel. If we can find, try and find some oil out there, it would work out a bit better for us. Now we're starting to clear some of this stuff away. We're starting to get some iron and hopefully we can start getting some other stuff. So research is a little bit slow at the moment, so what I'll actually do is, since we've got the copper there, is we'll actually get a second research base starting, and we'll just quickly boost that. And that will actually push it out 2 times faster than what it was now. And once we've got these done, we'll actually get rid of them to move them somewhere else. All of our other resources are looking pretty good. Now we're starting to store potatoes, so we're producing more potatoes than what we're consuming, which is good. And once this guy starts mining around here, we can actually get a second one. So I've noticed that we've still got trucks going down this way. I do believe they can go up through here, so they should be going up through here, but they're actually going up around in there, which is not an issue at the moment. The boat has just come back. It will drop off all of its materials, and then this guy should be requesting some more. I don't really want to place a storage just here yet, not until I get conveyor belts and actually connect these up together. So I'll leave that there for now. We still have a lot of scrap there, so we're not too worried about the iron ore situation just yet, but we do need to start getting down to this oil. So what we might do is we'll grab 2 more excavators, 2 more trucks, and we will start building this pass through here. So we will build it up on here and we'll come down towards the water's edge and start building a road around here and hopefully cut into this mountain here a bit so we can hit that oil. And once we've done that, then we can pump it all the way back to our station here. And that way we don't have to worry about fuel for a little bit then. We do have a couple of different bits in here. We also have quite a bit of scrap from that finding. This thing's loaded up with diesel again, so we might just send that out again, keep it going. We actually did find a cruise ship, but we won't worry about that yet since we haven't found any oil rigs out there yet. We're starting to get our trash mound built up, and it's got a little bit before it will be a issue for us. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave this going for a bit, and I will come back when something interesting happens. So we've just unlocked part of our tier 2s now, so we can start actually making our construction part 2, which then will now allow us to start making conveyor belts once we unlocked. So we might just quickly build some assemblers just to make those. And I also did while I was away, I just quickly made a vehicle assembly, or a assembly to make some vehicle parts, so we can start going on here, because I've just noticed we've also run out of those. They're currently sitting at 0. The same with our wood. So what we'll also do is we'll place down here, out of the way for now, a storage, and this is going to be for the wood. So that way we can keep those tree harvesters going, clearing away all this stuff, as well as having a bit of a stockpile, so they're not having to drive all the way to drop something and then drive all the way back, just consuming a ridiculous amount of fuel, when I could have trucks that are already over here doing that for me. So they just do the one trip, and that will keep the trees being cleared. And we should be pretty close to starting to mine iron. I can see it there. We're still mining some dirt by the looks of it. We do have a little bit of iron there. There will also be some iron scattered throughout here. There won't be much of it, but there will be a little bit. And he's going to keep going. As well as we're not currently producing. Oh, we are. We are producing. We got some homeless people, so that would be the issue why. So we've actually found a ship. That is not good. Our boat is going to return home because it ran away. Being because that ship had some turrets and we don't have anything on ours. So there was no shots fired at all. Just a case of a quick surrender to save our ship. We will build another housing spot here. That way we can keep on moving and also increasing the amount of people we can have and workers. So that's being built. We do have a pretty significant downpour. So for now I will place a storage unit there, one there, one there, as well as they're both back to front. I did not realise that. That's alright. Not too worried about that. So they'll be getting built. We should now have these parts now automatically going into here, which we do. And that way we're not stuck at that cap of only being able to hold 8 in this machine. We can now have 200 here that can be accessed and moved around. Alright, I will keep it going and I will start it again when something interesting happens. So we've just finished our goal for mining iron, so we can collect that one. And I've noticed that we've now consumed all of our iron scrap out of here, and we've also consumed all of our iron scrap. There's still a little bit in there, but we've also consumed it out of here. So with that, what we'll do is we'll set this to keep empty, which it should be. And I've also boosted this just to help with producing our parts here, because we seem to be running out quite often at the moment. Everything else seems to be good. Still got a bit of copper. Our maintenance is pretty good. as well as we've got plenty of food now, where we're now starting to slow down on our consumption, not consumption, but our amount of storage that we need for it. We do have a lot in here. This is full, pretty much. We are running into an issue where we've got a lot of coal, so I've slowly been getting him to move around and mine some of this mountain out. We will need it flattened so we can start building some more stuff around here, as well as I'm also starting to build our little pass through here, so we can start getting to that oil. We've also unlocked irrigated farms as well as crop rotation and tree planting. So if we have a look here, we can now see that we grow potatoes once every quarter. So what I like to do is I like to leave these fields empty every second time, and that way we boost our soil fertility. When we have more fertility, we get more potatoes over the time. And we've also unlocked integrated irrigated farms, which once we start making some of these construction part level 2, we can look at getting that, but at the moment we don't really need it. We're producing quite a decent amount of potatoes, as long as this rain keeps coming through. But what we will do is we will actually grab the rainwater harvester, which only requires a bit of wood and a bit of construction parts. I've just got to remember which side that this stuff is on. I think it's on this end here, or it's on that end. I can't remember exactly. Well, I guess what I could do is go to our farming and have a look. So if we were to line this up, so it is that side. Okay, so what we can do now, since we know that, is we will put a rainwater collector there, as well as a fluid storage on top of that, and that will just start building us up water over time to, once we upgrade this to the irrigated, we will actually be able to start making more potatoes, because I've noticed we are starting to go downhill pretty quick, even with this setup. So once it rains, we'll start collecting some water and we will put it into here once we've upgraded that. But at the moment we are mining a good amount of limestone, as well as we are still mining a little bit of iron. We do need to go for a bit more iron, so what I'm actually going to do is nail this path down a little bit smaller, and that way we can get into that iron a lot quicker, which it might even be better if we go there instead, because that way the iron is right there. We have got pretty close to it here though. It did come out to where it is here, where these rocks have been deformed. But we still need to get to our oil, which is all the way down here. There's actually a bit of iron there as well. Must have fallen off the cliff. So what we will do is, I guess, haven't really got too much going on. I don't want to expand too quickly, especially being pretty low on our resources at the moment and not really bringing any resources in. But I've just noticed that there is a vehicle that has low fuel, and I don't know where that vehicle is. It'll pop up here, vehicle with not enough fuel. So it's actually a truck, and it has got itself stuck. Okay, so we're gonna have to recover that one. Not really much we can do. There we go. So it's just picked up fuel, and now it's heading back over. I don't know why they do that. They just have a mind of their own sometimes. And we can actually mine that channel out there as well. And that should save us from having to mine that bit there. And once we've mined that out, we've already got one over here. He's already started to make his own little pass here. At least the dumping spot is pretty close, so we won't have to. I won't have to worry about that too much. But we'll just keep setting this up to dump out here, and that way there is a little spot here that I do want to just get that taken care of. And there is a spot there too that I want that taken care of as well. I don't really like these little spots here, because when it comes to building certain things, you'll have a issue building there with the terrain being too high. So I like to knock them off pretty quick, and he's just done that in one scoop, so that is pretty good. Alright, thank you again for watching. If you enjoy what you see, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. With all that, thank you very much, and have a good one.